and welcome to the first edition of UNews Weekly, coming to you from the UN Information Office in Uzbekistan and the UN in the country, in cooperation with all 9 agencies of the United Nations in Uzbekistan.
Today you'll hear about their plans, their priorities for 2013. It'll be interesting to know what the agencies are planning.
Absolutely, and the agencies we're going to join include, but not limited to, UNDP, UN Volunteers, UNICEF, UNAIDS, and UNESCO. Also will have a couple of surprises for you coming up in this year, planned by our agencies. So stay tuned. By the way, I'm Babur Komilov and
Layla Fatih.
Welcome to the show. So to start our first edition of UNews Weekly, I would like to tell you the story of UNICEF. The head of our agency in Uzbekistan, Jean-Michel Delmotte, joined the UN Information Office earlier this week, and he told us about his organization's 3 priorities: social protection, education, and health. Have a listen.
Social protection. Uzbekistan has a comprehensive system of protection of the most vulnerable in the country. As you know, children are the most vulnerable of the most vulnerable. So UNICEF is taking the lead by establishing, under the leadership of the Ministry of Finance, a social protection inter-agency group who will try to improve, if it's possible, the system of social protection in Uzbekistan, with a focus on preschool education and health financing this year. Very important, because it also it allows coordination among the donors. Education, as you know, we have a very comprehensive pilot, which was 1,000 schools in Uzbekistan. Based on the good lessons of that, we will now help the government to make this child-friendly school project the official strategy of improving education, and the focus will be on teaching methodology for teachers everywhere in Uzbekistan. And eventually in the health sector, we are planning to start the training of 17,000 professionals in 6 regions. But what is interesting, we will be using the practice of this in-service training to also input in the overall curriculum reform of health in Uzbekistan, working with 6 universities under the leadership of the Ministry of Health, and also coordinating the effort of different agencies, including UN agencies in Uzbekistan. These are the 3 main priorities for UNICEF this year in Uzbekistan.
Prevention of HIV/AIDS is one of the Millennium Development Goals. Let's listen to the UNAIDS country coordinator, Denievo, talking about the plans, including the campaign Know Your Epidemic, and their plans for the upcoming 6 months.
We will have 4 main objectives during 2013. When I say we, the UNAIDS, the Joint United Nations Programme on HIV/AIDS, which means all the UN agencies working in Uzbekistan together with the national authorities to improve the response to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. The first one is that we will help and work with the government in improving the data collection mechanism. This is what we call knowing your epidemic. It's extremely important, if you want to have a correct response to the HIV epidemic, to know exactly how many people are in need of treatment, for example. And there are 2 main exercises that we will do in 2013 together with our national experts and national colleagues. The first one is an estimation of the number of people living with HIV, an estimation of the number of people in need of treatment, including the number of children in need of treatment. And the second exercise that we will do is estimation exercise of the most at-risk population, to know how many injected drug users, how many sex workers do we have currently in the country needing prevention services, treatment, care and support. The second objective is that we will pursue our support to non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and more at large civil society organizations. As we know from experience in other countries, they are entirely part of the response to the HIV response, because they exactly know what are their needs in terms of themselves, people living with HIV, or parents, for example, or children living with HIV. The third objective is more an institutional one, is that there is now in Uzbekistan since 2012 a new national strategic program on HIV. And all together, all UN agencies, we will support the government in implementing this strategy, and we will bring together the resources and the expertise of the United Nations in Uzbekistan for making sure that this strategic program is a success. And the fourth one, which touched directly the life of people affected by HIV, is that, as we all know, there are ARV drugs, treatment for people living with HIV. This treatment is available in Uzbekistan, it's free, it's provided currently by external donors, by the Global Fund, and we will make sure that every person in need of treatment in the country has access to this treatment, and also that step by step the government is allocating national domestic resources.
Next is UNESCO. UNESCO in Uzbekistan plans to continue collaborating with the government of Uzbekistan in developing science, culture and education. And the UN Information Office sat down with Miss Krista Pikkat from UNESCO Tashkent, who told us about the agency's plans for 2013, and they are quite ambitious. Have a look.
UNESCO is very pleased to be part of the UN country team in Uzbekistan because we first of all want to participate in supporting the authorities in their efforts to achieve the internationally agreed development goals and MDGs. But also because we think that it's important for the UN to promote people-centered development. We believe that UNESCO's areas of competence are at the heart of what this people-centered development means, be it through education, the sciences, culture, communication and information. Every year, additional year at school adds to your chances in finding a decent job. Media contributes to the promotion of democratic, fair, just, prosperous societies. Culture is a means of contributing to the economic development through handicrafts, the restoration of monuments, promoting of cultural tourism. So there are so many things we can do. One important way for us to work in Uzbekistan is also through the joint program in the Aral Sea region, where we contribute through activities in the field of sciences and culture. And perhaps a more specific task for us this year would be to accompany the efforts of the authorities of Uzbekistan in their application to become member of the Global Partnership for Education. We are working with the authorities on the preparation of the education sector plan and then on its implementation. So this is what UNESCO plans to do in 2013.
Volunteers play an important role in development work. Let's listen to Santeri Eriksson, UNV Program Officer, talking about their program working in Aral Sea. This program helps people affected by the disaster and tackles such preventable diseases as tuberculosis. Let's listen in.
I'm very excited to tell you that 2012 was a very good year, but I'm so excited about 2013 because it's going to be even better. Development is all about people, and for people, a great way to get involved is volunteerism. And for people all around Uzbekistan, we have great opportunities with UN volunteers for 2013. First, I want to start telling you about our project in Pakistan. We're going to have 1,500 community volunteers going all around communities in Pakistan, door to door, telling people about tuberculosis and other lung infections. Their volunteers can play a great role in educating people, raising awareness so that people know they will get tested in time, they will get the medicine, they will get the treatment so that the infection doesn't spread. I'm expecting great results by the end of the year. Another great way to get involved is that we are launching community volunteer projects. So there people can apply, anyone can apply for a grant of $1,000. You can think of an idea. How would you make your city? How would you make your community? How would you make Uzbekistan a better place with $1,000 and with your own volunteer commitment? So please go ahead, check out unv.org, check out the details and apply. Give us your idea. If it's a good one, we'll support you and we'll be right there with you along the way. And the third thing, volunteerism, people give out their free time, they give out their effort, they give out their passion. And I mean, it's altruistic thing that people do. The people do it for the good of their society, but also we were taught that this year it's time to give back to these people. So we're thinking of creating a scheme of giving recognition to volunteers, and we're looking for best ways of doing it. So there again, if you have some good ideas how to give recognition to volunteers, come back to us and we'll see what we can do.
So next agency is the biggest one of UN agencies in Uzbekistan, and that is correct, UN Development Programme. And as part of our Heads Up 2013 series, we were joined by Jaco, the UNDP's Deputy Resident Representative, who walked us through his agency's plans of this year. And he basically talked about 3 priorities that the agency plans to continue its work on in this year. And after we have a listen and a look at the interview with Mr. Cilliers, we'll continue the subject on UNDP's plans for 2013 with my colleague Lalo here. For now, let's have a look at the interview.
We have a lot to be proud of last year, and we're very happy with some of the accomplishments, but I think also this 2013 creates new and exciting opportunities for us as UNDP. The year has been declared as the year of prosperity and well-being, and I think that that is very much in line with our reasons for engaging in development and social initiatives as well. So we look for a lot of complementarity also around some of the good ideas that the government and also the civil society groups and other people will be undertaking within Uzbekistan, and also supporting that for constructive engagement and also for real constructive projects. These projects for us include a number of initiatives, and I'll maybe just highlight 3 that I think will be very exciting for us. The first is really in the area of promoting energy efficiency and green growth. What that means is that we will be working with the government on a number of the existing initiatives that we have to promote also good principles of including both energy efficiency but also greening principles within general development initiatives, and that's from buildings to government initiatives, also promoting the principles of what can be done to promote alternative energy within development initiatives. The second project for us is around also how we promote a concept of service delivery, both for the business sector but also for the local governance sector throughout the regions and other areas. We're very excited about a number of projects that we've worked around a single window to promote service delivery within the regions, and there's also currently a decree that has been declared by the Cabinet of Ministers and the President, which promotes that this has to be rolled out throughout the country. And we look through also the existing projects that we've had with the Cabinet of Ministers, but also with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry to support many of those ideas. And then lastly for us, I think we're also excited to continue to work with some of our social partnership projects. We have a very good project that work with people both with disabilities but also for people, vulnerable groups and individuals, to create job opportunities and create economic development opportunities for these groups. And we hope to continue to promote that also as a concept which the government has supported and are very much supporting as well, to also improve the life of people who often don't have the opportunities for development and also for opportunities to promote their economic prosperity.
So that was Jaco, the UNDP Deputy Resident Representative, talking about the agency plans. And he mentioned about the energy efficiency and green growth and promoting the concept, Lalo, of quality service delivery in the region. So we'll come back to that a little bit later, but I would like you to tell us more about the energy efficiency, green growth. I know UNDP has a project that particularly works in this area, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Green energy, green economy is such a vital part of our development process in the country. So we are tackling this through one of our projects, which is implemented by together with the Global Environmental Fund, and it's called Energy Efficiency in Public Buildings. Basically, what the project does is it tries to integrate energy efficiency into the way we build our buildings, that are schools, clinics, and healthcare centers.
Right. And the second biggest priority that Mr. Cilliers mentioned was the promotion of the concept of quality service delivery in the regions of Uzbekistan. I know that UNDP launched and piloted one-stop shop concept in the country, and I know it's going really big. And my understanding when he talked about the promotion of the concept, he meant that it's now going to be more available and an everyday service in not only in Tashkent but beyond.
Well, our listeners can ask, what is a one-stop shop?
Exactly.
Basically, it's a place where our clients, whether it's entrepreneurs or the citizens of the country, come and receive services provided by government institutions. It can be, for instance, to register your business, or for people who are receiving social benefits, they come to claim it. Rather than having to walk around and visit several agencies, they come to one place, one person helps them provide services, and they are efficient, time management, and in terms of transparency, this is such a great concept to take further.
What has been the feedback so far on this project? I know it is something new. It's an innovation in this country, and also it's something that you can't see in many other countries of the CIS. In the region, I haven't heard, if you have, of course.
Basically, this concept has been welcomed, and it has taken at the government level, and there is a government resolution adopted to spread this approach further. We piloted the initiative in Tashkent, and once it was successful, we moved to 2 regions, which is Namangan and Jizakh. And now we're trying to work with our government partners to spread it all over Uzbekistan.
Great. That's quite ambitious. And I would like you to tell us a little bit about the last point that Mr. Cilliers made, and that's the work with the people of Uzbekistan in creating better employment opportunities. I know it's quite hot in the headlines now, the employment opportunities for people. And having said that, the UNDP aims particularly at creating better employment opportunities for the disabled and other vulnerable vulnerable groups of population. What does he mean by that?
Well, what we're doing is we're partnering up with government institutions, business, to open social enterprises. What are social enterprises? Basically, it's a business, but a business that attracts people that have special needs and gives them job opportunities, gives them a community, gives them opportunities to integrate into the society even better. Basically, what we do is, for instance, we partner up with a business that has knowledge and know-how. We opened a shoemaking social enterprise in Samarkand. The businessman provided us with the knowledge of how and the market for selling the shoes. As UNDP, we bought the equipment, and the college, which is for students with special needs and disabilities, hosts the social enterprise and gives them space so they can make these shoes themselves, sell them further, and make income. Actually, because it was such a success, one of the youth who is involved in the social enterprise said he would want to open his own little business as well. So we look forward to that.
Oh, and we wish him good luck, of course. I think that's quite a big plan to make for and I believe that's one of his resolutions for New Year.
Absolutely.
Helped by UNDP. And that brings us to the end of our first UNews Weekly, and I'd like to take the opportunity and thank my colleague Lalo Fota for joining us for the first edition and helping us out in presenting the show.
Thank you for letting me join in.
You're very much welcome. And we look forward to seeing you again. Join us live next week, where we'll bring you more developments from the life of UN in Uzbekistan. For now, from me and the rest of the team, it's goodbye.